international? Where is the United Nations? Or did Gaddafi bribe them with his billions of dollars? Where is Obama? Where is the rest of the world? People are dying on the street. They had a court for Hariri, one person, a court, international court. Tens of people are dying in Benghazi today. Please, reveal our message. Our people have been killed. Now thousands of demonstrators are in front of the court. Ladies, kids, old people. We are here chanting against the government. The slogan yesterday was, we need decent life. Today the slogan has changed. We don't want Gaddafi anymore. This is the new slogan. Because of their killings, they made the people hate them. They don't want them anymore.
A statement put out by the revolutionary committees, and you mentioned them as being, you think, behind the shooting. They said in this statement that anybody who crosses what they described as red lines, in other words, threatening the state, any of these people would be committing suicide, playing with fire. What do you make of that?
People hear that our statement to them, we are ready to die for Libya. People here have no more fear. The wall of fear has come down. Women, kids, everybody is willing to give his life for a free Libya. We tell them we are ready to die for our country, for the safety and free Libya.
Well, that was an engineer talking to me a short while ago from Benghazi. That is the eastern Libyan city of Benghazi, where apparently a number of people have lost their lives after an overreaction, according to the witnesses, by groups representing the revolutionary committees, who had earlier said anybody who threatens the state is committing suicide. So that's the picture in Libya. Now, the other unfolding story tonight appears to be happening in Bahrain, where we understand members of the military, we're not entirely sure whether it was just the army or perhaps Air Force involved, because there were reports of gunfire from helicopters, but as we look there at what we understand to be tear gas being fired, the muzzle flashes and the smoke there on the left of the screen, and people who'd been taking in the final part of a session of mourning for the very first protester who had lost his life. They were confronted by members of the army, and all accounts, all the people we've spoken to so far say those soldiers used live ammunition. It wasn't rubber-coated steel bullets, it wasn't the birdshot that had been used earlier on. It was, put simply, they were using bullets. This is the doctors that we spoke to at the hospital. They said there were so many wounded. One person saying 60 casualties, 3 of them in the operating theatre. Early reports said there may well have been some deaths, but so far that hasn't been confirmed. But massive crowds now inside the grounds of the hospital saying they will not leave, and many of them chanting for the removal of the King of Bahrain. I spoke to one doctor inside the hospital. He was frantic.
We are calling for help for all the countries in the world. We call for help here in Bahrain. We cannot tolerate this. We cannot bear this. The hospital is full of casualties. All the medical staff are running all over the place. There are victims thrown in the road. Nobody can free them. Nobody can bring them to the hospital. It's a chaos here in the hospital. That's the way I describe it. We call for an urgent call for everybody in the world. United States, European Union, all the Arab leagues, all the Arab countries. Please do come here to help us. We are an innocent people. They haven't done anything. They have just demonstrated peacefully. They were on their way to the hospital and they were shot dead. We have a lot of deaths here. I cannot describe the situation. It's awful. It's awful. That's the way we can describe it. It's chaos. The hospital is full of casualties. All the medical staff are running on their feet. It's quite difficult to accommodate all of these casualties. The hospital is nearly full. We've taken a lot of patients to the theater. We took patients to the ICU. The accident emergency is full of casualties. It is unbelievable scene, undescribable.
Doctor, I know that you have a job to do there, and we appreciate you talking to us. Can you update us on the number of people that you believe have died?
Uncountable, my friend. It's uncountable. It's very difficult to count the number of casualties. We can't even identify them because they don't even hold their IDs. They were thrown on the roads. There are tens, if not hundreds, of people are just still on the road. The ambulance cannot reach them. They were stopped by the police guard. They can't access them. It is very hard to describe the situation. It is really, really hard. It's unbelievable, as if we are in a war. These people are innocent. They don't hold machine guns. They don't hold swords, as the government has said. These are just innocent demonstrators. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. We call for urgent help. The ministers, the foreign ministers who were there in Bahrain yesterday should call for help for people, not to support the government who is killing their people. It's very hard to describe the situation. I mean, it's awful.
Yeah, it's awful. The doctor, in fact, who told us earlier on that it was a war zone around the wards in the hospital. That was Dr. Hassan talking from the Suleimania Hospital, where we understand more than 60 people who've been hurt. Most of them, we believe, by gunshot wounds, are being treated at the moment, a number of them in a serious condition. And at the same time as we spoke to him, we were seeing on Bahraini state television the Crown Prince asking for calm, saying this is not a police state. Both sides should remain calm and there is room for dialogue. There is the Crown Prince, Sheikh Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. A dialogue tonight, he said, if necessary. Let's talk to Mohammed Al Maskati. Tried to talk to you earlier on, so we couldn't make the connection. He was president of the Bahrain Youth Society for Human Rights. What is happening in your country right now?
Actually, what I saw that the people are protesting peacefully, and it's not now. It's from the 14th of February they are protesting peacefully, and until yesterday, 6 was killed. Today, the people are peaceful people. I was there and I saw what they want, and I saw what their slogan, and I saw all of them. They don't carrying weapon. They don't carrying anything, and they are peaceful. They don't use violence. One of the journalists who was attacked, I trying to help him. He said that he saw the army and the police attack people, and also not only army and the police in the ground, also the helicopter also attacked the people.
This is a quote from one of the doctors at the hospital. I'm just reading off the story as filed by the Associated Press. This is a war, he said. He was an orthopedic surgeon examining people with bullet-shattered bones, is the way they describe it. Is it a war in Bahrain?
Actually, if the army in the street and shouting the people is a war, but a war against peaceful movement, a war against peaceful people, a war against unarmed people. They don't use weapon to attack. What do you know what they shouting when they in the facing with the army? They shouting peaceful. They saying we are peaceful. Please don't shouting peaceful.